Warning: the following podcast has been rated listener R due to strong language, violent situations, drug references, sexual innuendos, and who knows what else. Listener discretion is advised. With that being said, hang on, sugar tits, because we're about to get wobbled.
What's going on, guys? Clayton Wobble Elliott back with the Let's Get Wobbled podcast, and I am kicking it again with Stevens for episode 11. What's going on, brother?
What up, brother?
Not too much, man. We were just sitting here. I think we probably spent an hour, if not more, talking just off the mic and catching each other up with work and shit because I don't ever get to see you anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, you're right. And we don't as much as we need to be, but it's times like this too. It's nice. It's nice to be able to have you even off mic, have you come over, have a beer, have a cigar, chit chat about. It seems like we can have more to talk about.
Yeah, that's the hard part about it too.
Your week, my week.
Catching each other up on shit that we can't talk about on the mics, which sucks. But it was nice though that I did. We were talking about how nice it is to work overtime. I finally bit the bullet and I volunteered for an overtime spot. Worked the gravy post, and I wound up catching up with you in the parking lot that night.
Yeah,
and it was nice. But man, I about fell asleep. I forgot how hard it is to adjust from just working straight eights to putting in a 16 and then wrinkling your whole fucking schedule.
Yeah, for the rest of the week. That's what's hard if you decide to pull that OT, beginning your week, because it fucks your sleep cycle up, fucks your whole routine up, and you're dog ass tired for the rest of the week. But push come to shove at the end of it, when you get either those dollar signs on your paycheck or that time on your books, it's all worth it at that point.
Yeah, for sure. I volunteered that day, and then I got froze last night. Got froze for a couple hours last night, and today rolled around, and I just wasn't feeling it. I said, you know what? Fuck it. I took an open vacation spot for 8 and got myself set up for a 3-day weekend, which I'm super excited about. I didn't do shit today. I probably should have, but I'll catch up tomorrow on shit that I need to get done. But
I slept and went to football practice. I worked last night.
Yeah, I know, that's true.
But I said that's the one part about third shift I don't much care for, because it don't makes you feel like your day off is ran into.
Right, yeah.
Because I worked all last night and then slept till about 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon. That's not considered. You're already halfway through the damn day. That's not considered a fucking day
I wasn't
off.
halfway through the day. I went and visited my dad today. I got up early this morning because my brother left. He's at a concert, North Carolina. He went down for my cousin's birthday, and they're at a concert together. So I got up somewhere around the same time he got up and just wasn't feeling it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to check the vacation spots. And luckily they had one. I snatched it. Went and visited with my dad for a little bit, and I told him, I said, I just still feeling tired, still feeling a little groggy, so I'm going to go home and kick back, take a nap. And I took a nap until fucking early evening, and I was like, fuck, I probably should get up and do something with my life.
Fuck it, man. That's the one part I like about fall and winter. Cold weather and time to relax.
Yeah.
Spent the whole spring and summer, getting up, getting your garden ready, and doing your outside tasks, fucking mowing the grass and weed eating and everything that's nonstop. And it's just that time of the year: football, beer, and sleep.
Yeah.
And let's not forget about food.
Right.
That's important.
Speaking of food, what'd you have for dinner tonight?
To be honest with you, I haven't had shit for dinner tonight. Nope.
You should have said something. I made dinner tonight.
What'd you make?
Chicken cordon bleu with mashed potatoes and corn.
Woo! Look at you.
I cheated. I mean, I bought the Sam's Club chicken cordon bleu and just threw it in the oven, but still, I got the satisfaction of eating it. It was amazing.
Yeah, it looks like a thunderstorm is about to roll in here.
I didn't think it was supposed to rain tonight, but
yeah, they're calling. I just seen pop up on the phone. It says severe thunderstorm warning.
Oh well.
Yeah, that's the life with dad. Being a dad. I get up, take them to football practice, bring them home, make sure they all get fed and they get get their showers, they get cleaned up, make sure all their stuff's ready for school in the morning, so they make sure they're in bed, and here I am, 9 o'clock in the evenings, like, well, fuck, I haven't ate anything. But the other side of that too is being on third man. It's fucked my whole shit all
Speaking
up.
of which, that's what I wanted to ask you when I to backtrack, and you guys haven't heard this off the mic. I got a long stretch of vacation coming up here in middle of October, so because I got some time saved up. All four of your kids need to be sick one day. You need to be sick one day because you've got your time in. We need to fucking go bowling or go do something cool.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, it's kind of sad though that you have to resort to that
I know it does
avenue,
suck, but
but
I did that as a kid with my dad, and I
yeah,
absolutely loved it.
yeah, that's not a bad idea. And I mean, something out of the blue for the kids
Yeah,
to
just
be,
don't even just surprise them with it. Just be
just be,
like, hey, you guys, if anybody asks, you're sick.
yeah,
Yeah, Dad used to do that all the time because he was in the same boat that you're in. I mean, there's time available, but you have to know how to use that time.
right,
And you know, me being in the same schedule as you are now with my dad, he was working third shift. His days off did not coordinate with my days off during school, so we never got any late night me and dad time.
yeah,
It's always, hey, dad's here, so dad gets to put me to bed tonight. But
yeah,
that's really it. But
yeah. That's kind of what's going on right now. I'm a movie guy, and I love evenings chilling, putting a movie on, watching a movie,
damn,
and that's just something that we ain't done that much, and the kids, you can tell, are missing it
really,
because last couple nights is like, Dad, can we watch a movie? Dad, are we gonna watch a movie? I'm like, no, because it's hard. I'm a stickler, for them going to bed at a decent time so they can wake up refreshed and actually put their effort into school instead of being fucking sleepy and tired and grumpy. And so I stick to 9 o'clock. It's hard to get done with football. Hell, we don't get home till 7:30 ish. 7:30 ish, and then you got throw food down their face and let all four of them run through the shower. You can clean their asses, and by the time that's said and done, maybe a bag of popcorn and they're going to bed.
right,
So, but it does catch up to you a little bit. They they don't see it as kids. They think we're not affected by that kind of stuff, but I really am because I know. I made that a thing. I made it a habit of on this off night, we're just going to chill, throw a movie on, eat some popcorn, some ice cream, watch a movie, and go to bed. They really enjoy that.
right.
Here lately, I've been like, nope, nope. So I can only imagine what the hell's going through their head, and they're probably like, "Dad's a fucking prick. Fuck that asshole."
It is what it is. You got to step
Nah.
up and be that force, I guess. But like you said, you let the kids stay up till midnight, 1 o'clock, and you're hassling them to get up and get ready. And
Oh yeah,
especially you for
dude.
being a dude that's being on time, I can attest to trying to push the fucking envelope and trying to get everybody ready and the way you want them.
That'd be a fucking nightmare.
I bet it would be.
Lord. Yeah, it'd be bad. I can only imagine coming home from work. Because I get home from work now in time to wake them up and get them going. And wife does majority of it, but there's a couple times that I do it. But I can just sit here and imagine them going to bed at fucking midnight and trying to get them up at fucking 6 o'clock. I'll end up fucking dunking one of their heads in a fucking bathtub. They go find that apple.
Right. So let's go ahead and get back on track with the episode. I'll let you go first because I hope you have something because I still need to think of something. But tell me what grinds your gears, bud. You've been thinking about anything lately? It's just been fucking wearing on you.
Not really. I can't really. I've been trying to take this path of making sure my schedule ain't getting too fucked up where I'm a dickhead when that's a struggle I've been struggling with shift change, hour change, way of sleep and eating. I've been struggling trying to keep my grumpiness away from the family. But, it's just typical everyday stuff,
That's how my week, just since I recorded the last episode with my brother, it's been so busy, work stress, bullshit. going on. It's just I
So
haven't had a
it's
whole lot of time to actually since the episode that Camden and I did. I haven't had any days off until today. Plus, with working, like I said, 1 8-hour shift, and then I got froze for like 2.5, almost 3 hours. I just really haven't had a whole lot of time to sit back and chill. It's been the first beers that I've had since the last episode, but
it throws you off. It really does when you get thrown, days off during the week. Initially, it's like ain't no big deal. What's so important that a weekend has to maintain Saturday and Sunday? Why can't a weekend be Wednesday, Thursday when it's my 2 days off? Why can't that be the new weekend? Reality hits once that comes because you realize that everybody else functions on a different schedule at that point.
right,
Most of everybody else functions on a weekend basis, Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of situations, when you want to go see in-laws or you want to go see your parents, you can't because although it's your 2 days off, it's not theirs.
right,
They're at work or they're tied up or they're busy. It makes it difficult sometimes, as it stresses you out time to time, but you can try to make the best of it and know that, eventually change is coming.
yeah.
We're young guys, but there's a bunch of older guys, you know, soon upon a star. There'll be a bunch of guys leaving. We'll get our whack at some decent days.
I'm surprised I got the days off that I do now. I'll be honest with you.
Actually, I mean, I don't mind Wednesday and Thursdays off. It kind of flows. It takes care of what needs to be taken care of. But that's just like what I said. It takes care of what needs to be taken care of.
Right,
It's not allowing time to function fully, with everybody else,
right.
but I mean, look, here we are, you know, Kristen's doing her thing, my wife's at work, kids have school, but we made it work for us because
Right.
we're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But everybody else, it's just not, here we are, just two of us,
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
difficult. It really is.
But what grinds my gears, man, you've been on this, I think you're really trying to dig deep. You've been on this for a
I
minute.
got one if you need to think of one.
Yeah, why
I
don't you
finally
do that?
figured one out. I'm sure there's a way you can do this. But just sitting here thinking, I know I haven't changed the tires on that truck since I bought it. And I know I'd need new tires before winter hits. I know that. And I'm going to get new tires. But I'm trying to get as much use out of those without having to fucking spend 4 fucking grand on tires. Why the fuck why are tires so expensive? Jesus Christ.
I don't know, really.
I was thinking about this. How nice would it be to put tires on layaway? I mean, I know you can.
There are some places that you can.
Yeah, I need to jump on that boat.
And
for
then
sure.
Not only that, now there are places that you can specifically finance tires and wheels.
I need to get on that.
Along with that, comes they gotta make their money somehow. I'm sure there's a little bit of interest and
I'm sure there's something on there, but
a little bit of something.
at least it's not the whole shock coming out of one paycheck.
Yeah.
Out of one lump sum, I definitely need to fucking start that bullshit.
I can't think of right off the top of the head, but here within a year, it seems like a handful of fucking tire places have popped up. I think it's more so for this whole truck craze that's going on. Everybody wanting tires and wheels for their trucks, and the business is booming. But there's a lot of, what's funny about that though, with these people that are now you can make payments on tires and wheels. Wouldn't that be some shit? You fucking miss it. What they do, repo your shit. So you miss the fucking payment. You wake up, go get in your truck. Your fucking truck sitting on fucking blocks, wheels and tires gone. That'd be some shit, wouldn't it?
People steal catalytic converters. Next is gonna be fucking tires.
Well, I mean, just through the company themselves.
Yeah,
they gotta hold you accountable somehow. That's
right.
Probably a repo action or something that they make you fucking sign for. Just know that you miss a fucking payment and your ass is mine. I'm coming in and getting those fucking tires.
Call into work. Hey, I ain't gonna be there today. Especially if you work in our profession, they want to know why you're not at work.
Yeah,
you're expected to be there. My truck's up on blocks. Well, fucking put tires on it. Well, there's the problem.
That's where my guilty ass comes in because I have a decent amount of sick time, and I have there's times like, you know what, I don't fucking feel like it. And it can't that fucking count as a sick day? You wake up and you don't fucking feel like going to work. That but my guiltiness pops in because of the questions that they fucking ask. It'd be one thing if you fucking call in and say, "Hey, I'm taking a sick day." They take your info and it's done.
Technically, that's what they're supposed to do. They're
Yes,
not
but
allowed to ask
they
you.
don't. They don't fucking they want to know why.
I've done it. Even the guy was, because I almost said personal before I said sick. And I was like, no, I don't need a personal. I said, you guys, because I asked him, I said, do you guys have any personal? I'm like, they don't need to, I don't need a personal day. I need a sick day, dumbass. So I changed. I was like, no, I don't need a personal. I need a sick. And he's like, oh, sick, are you? I thought you needed a personal. I'm like, no, I need a sick day. But I really was. I did wind up going to the urgent care and getting a fucking doctor's excuse saying that I was at the doctor's office. But yeah, they do. They ask just to see if they're going to get anything out of you. Oh, no. Was it empty?
Nope. I didn't spill that much.
Oh, okay. I was going to say there's 6 of them in that bag. I brought 6 total. So drink up, buddy. Beautiful cigars that I brought over. I'm ordering some more. My stash was running a little low, and Stevens and I had some really good ones that Kristen had bought me, and I decided I was just going to bite the bullet and go ahead and buy some. That's where I fucked up in life. I spend all my money on cigars, and I'm fucking worried about tires. Priorities, I guess.
Maybe I'll, not really throw a what grinds my gears legit topic thing out. Maybe what grinds my gears is the fact I ain't won a fucking lottery. Because that's the kind of thing that gets me, man. I'd say on days when I'm so backfilled, because your wife needs this, your kids have football practice, they gotta go here, they gotta do this, and then now FFA stuff is coming up. 2 boys are involved in, and it's like, where's my fucking time when the grass is growing? I got 7 acres of grass to cut and 7 acres of fucking weed eating to do. I got pigs and rabbits and everything else out here, but still, meanwhile, I got a shock bracket broke on my truck. I need to replace the back brakes on my truck. There's repairs and upgrades around the house that I need to do. It's just like I get so fucking flustered.
If there's one thing that I've learned, and you said it right there in that sentence, it doesn't matter how good you think everything is going for you. It always seems like there's always something.
Something.
It's
Always.
always. It doesn't matter how good you think you've got it. There's always that one thing that breaks right when you get caught up and you think everything's good now. We're all set.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing after another.
And
And it always fucking gets you down.
It always is, and you're exactly right. As soon as you start getting to that point, like, I can breathe, bam, there's something else. And that's similar with this whole car situation, with my wife traveling for her work now. It's essential that she has, a vehicle. And, we start getting things squared away. We start getting a plan. Money starts going back. Our focus has turned to Christmas and the kids. And all of a sudden she calls me and says she's broke down on the side of the road. Her van done took a shit, which since then I have fixed and it's fine now.
The van is?
Yeah.
What was it?
Fucking battery.
I figured it was.
That's all it was. Battery.
I know you said the terminal or
But
something.
I tell
was
you
giving
what,
problems.
you own a Chrysler. Maintain that battery in the alternator. Because I tell you what, you start getting fucking low voltage on a Chrysler, and them things do some funky ass fucking things.
Yeah, you were talking to me about it going to like a limp mode thing.
Yeah, went to limp
And
mode.
I told you said it was the battery, and I said maybe it's one of those fuses because I told you I had that problem in my Ford before.
Well, the thing that starts to confuse you is because the way it goes, it puts you in mind of other problems.
Right.
Because her transmission didn't want to come out second gear. I'm like, great. Is she having a fucking problem with her tranny? Is her tranny not shifting or is it slipping?
And that's a hell of a lot more expensive than the battery, pal.
Right. And then she's like, well, my ABS light and traction control light was blinking. I'm like, well, shit, is there something wrong with her ABS? Is her ABS system fucked up? And then is that what's causing the transmission to do what it's doing? And, and then all of a sudden, well, it could be wheel speed sensors. And all said and done with all them lights flashing on the dash, not going over second gear, not doing anything, come find out it's just battery. Battery is toast. Battery is pretty old in there. It just hitting its leg. It wasn't completely dead. It just got low voltage and is reading is reading low voltage, and it started making that fucking car do all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah.
But long story short, I had enough of it.
Right.
And at that point, we go sign our life away to a fucking $35,000 car, which is great. It's nice. It's nice.
She really does for how much she travels. It's
Yep.
not a bad idea.
No, and it's nice, it's nice to have something that's like really nice,
Right.
with all the hard work and all this shit that we do. It's nice to fucking have something that's nice. Hell, it's her car,
Right.
but ever since she's got it, I'm like, well, you don't like. I work night shift, and you
I was gonna say I've seen your truck maybe a handful of times since you guys got the car.
I'm like, you ain't got any plans on going anywhere tonight, do you? Well, no. It's okay. I'm taking the car. It's nice, even though I live
Kristen's car is amazing to drive. It is so different from getting in my
it's
truck, but I drive her car and then I get back in my piece of shit Ford and I'm like, oh man.
Don't get me wrong, I love my truck,
My truck's saved me in a pinch quite a few times.
but fuck, this thing is so smooth. It's nice.
Ain't like them early 2000s Fords, but
You sit in it comfortable. AC works great. It's like, man, this thing is nice. But yeah, I guess the gear grinding for me is just when it comes to the time, I don't feel like I got time to do shit. It's you sit here and watch all these fucking lawyers and doctors win the fucking lottery. They don't need the fucking lottery.
right.
And they don't even need to play. Why are they playing? Give me the fucking chance to win the lottery. So
I've never won lottery per se. I've won 2 different times. I've won tickets on the radio back when I worked for the trash company.
I want money.
I do too, but still, I'm not even a big hockey fan, and I got free tickets to go to a Wheeling Nailers game, and that was a lot of fun. I mean, yeah, the tickets were cheap anyways. If I would have just bought them out of my pocket, but just like the free tickets were kind of shitty seats, but I mean, they're free. I wasn't gonna bitch, but it was just fun just to take that time to go do it. And then I won tickets to a Pittsburgh Zoo. I won tickets to it, and I never.
I'm not into it.
No,
Either.
I'm not either. So I wound up matter of fact, it was Pierce. He was working with me at the time, and he was talking about going. And I said, "Are you like dead serious about going?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm planning on getting the tickets here soon." I said, "I got 2 free tickets. I'll give you." He's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "I want them on the radio," and I said, "I'll probably never go. I don't want them to go to waste." I said, "By all means, take them." He's like, "No, you and whoever go." I was like, "No, it's really fine. I'm not gonna go."
Yeah, I'm not in that zoo life, man.
It's fun for about a half hour.
Yeah,
and then my fat ass is like, "Okay, I've seen enough."
It's not even about that, really. For me, it's just like I'm not intrigued about seeing wild fucking animals for real.
Damn.
It's I don't know. Would it be cool to see a fucking rhino or some big ass fucking animal in real life? Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
It's
but
cool, but it's one of those things where you've done it once. You're like, okay, I've had my share.
Exactly. I've had my damn share.
Let the fucking rhino do its bullshit.
You don't need to see a fucking gorilla or a damn giraffe fucking do their fucking shit more than once.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
The excitement's over. The excitement's there for the kids though, and that's
right.
That's what makes the difference. But call me a little selfish. When it comes, can we go to the zoo? I'm like, no. We can go to Zimbabwe Bay though.
Oh hell yeah! I'll go anytime. That was a blast.
I made that mistake though. Tried to do the whole zoo half day.
Nope.
And Zimbabwe the other half, and that's not a great time.
Because the kids are upset because they didn't get to see the animals they wanted to, and by that time, then you get to the water park, you get changed. You've only got a few hours left, and it's just not enough time to fucking do what you want to do.
It's not. It's a no-go 2-day trip if you're gonna make it do anything.
Right.
Although we have talked about, I think here soon we're wanting to take the kids down to Newport, go to Newport Aquarium.
I've never been.
I think I was like a long, long time ago when I was a little kid. Went there with my grandpa.
Give me save you a shit ton of money, bud. Go to Cabela's. Just take the kids to the fish tank.
It's not really bad. We went to Cabela's a couple times. So last time we were at Cabela's, we spent $700. And that wasn't that wasn't on anything Daddy wanted. That was strictly all fucking kids, shirts, clothing, apparel, and shit like that. But kids were sitting there. We end up having to pick out most of their shit because they're too intrigued by everything else that was in there, the
Right.
fucking fish tank and the animals and everything else. But you say that as a joke. That's I know for a fact when I want a new gun, I can take all 4 of my kids and the Cabela's and let them go.
Yeah.
While I go to the gun counter and do my business, But Cabela's is nice, but be prepared to spend $1.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
It's like I went last week to the gun range just to blow off some steam. I had a day off. I went and shot my Glock and had to buy some more ammo and some targets and shit. And of course, I got through like the first couple boxes of ammo, and I was like, "Fuck, I had a lot of fun. I'll go do that again." Fuck, I walked out there spending a lot of money. I mean, I didn't buy a gun, but just the price of ammo now is fucking.
It's crazy. That's what I God knows, and I just had that phase. Then, dude, I'm not FAs. I mean, firearms training. I'm kind of disappointed with how I shot. Really,
I was too, honestly, because I hadn't shot in a long time.
I haven't shot in a while neither, and I think a little bit of that and the fact that I was running on like 3 hours of sleep, kind of because you came over and we bullshitted for a while, and I didn't get to bed until like 2 o'clock in the morning, and got back up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and went in. I was just off that whole day. My shooting was off. My grouping wasn't like it needed to be. I mean, the 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 process of it, I was all there.
Right.
When you fucking handle a gun, you've multiple times, how to handle a gun.
Right.
But it's just my shooting I was off with. I was disappointed. Yeah, it's hard.
But I did the same thing like you said. I went to the range and I shot my first maybe 20, and my grouping was just everywhere. I'm like, what am I doing? And I got in a groove, and I showed you those pictures that I shot down at the range. I did fairly decent once I got in my groove, but just trying to fucking. And that's what's bad about it too. If you ever decide to draw and use your weapon in a situation, you're stressed at that point.
I was never outside of my target.
I wasn't either, but I wasn't impressed. I was like, I can do better than this.
Yes, 100%.
I passed.
Yeah.
But, fuck, I think my windows are down. Hang on. All right, we're good now. I wanted to roll my windows up because I got a notification on my phone that intermittent rain was coming, and I didn't want to have to fucking be wet.
Yeah, the notification I had on my phone prior to this didn't mean shit to you, though, did it?
No,
it had to come on your iPhone for you to believe
No,
it.
It wasn't that I didn't believe you. It's just that I wasn't so sure that shit didn't fucking happen. Okay. Back on track. Anyhow. Oh, you want to segue into something funny. Did I ever tell you about the strip club that was down there by where we were at in PA when we went for the trip?
No.
So, long story short, I don't know. I'm not going to assume, but I'll tell you that back when I was in college, I got introduced to the strip club scene. And I won't say frequently, but I probably went more than what I should. I had fun. Me and a couple buddies of mine would always go out and have a few beers, go to strip clubs, and burn money. But we were down in PA for that ride, and one of the warthogs was outside drinking and had mentioned that there was a strip club in the area that they wanted to visit. And we were all sitting and talking about it, and I was actually intrigued, but Kristen was there, and I was like,
shut down.
Nah, I'm not. I don't want to go, but I wanted to go just to get a T-shirt. Look at the name of this place.
Uncle Spiggy's Shrimp and Titties.
It's a legit strip club in Lakewood, PA.
Huh.
And I kind of wanted to go just to get a T-shirt. And I mentioned to my brother, I was like, man, I really wanted to go just to get a T-shirt. And Cam's like, yeah, you wanted to go for a T-shirt. And I said, yeah, that's probably what Kristen thought too. So, well, we didn't wind up going, but Uncle Spiggy's Shrimp and Titties.
Never went to strip club, man.
Never been.
Nope,
well,
never been.
Let me tell you, in my earlier days, if I would have known you, I would have taken you. It's a huge fucking waste of money. It's not worth it. I grew out of that stage. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. It's costing me too much money. And
But this is cutting back into a subject that we agree to disagree on. I'm not big about titties.
is
You're
what it
getting
is.
in a conversation that's gonna land me a fucking divorce, and you
probably
have
will
to
you,
fucking
but-
creek without a paddle.
I told Kristen straight up when we met. I was like, hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm not gonna go anymore, but I just want to let you know that I've been to quite a few. I've got some stories. My buddy,
I've seen titties, motherfucker.
My buddy
before
and I-
yours.
my buddy and I almost got thrown out of one. He got drunk and some stripper pulled him up on stage.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, the bouncer come out and hurled him off the fucking stage and was gonna had him by the fucking shirt, was gonna throw us both out. I was like, oh fuck, here we go. The only thing that saved him was she drug him up there. He didn't just go up by
And
himself.
she vouched.
She vouched,
Okay.
said, hey, yeah.
She
So we got to sit down and keep continuing to
could've
drink and have fun.
been a super cunt and fucking been like, I don't know what
I don't know
he's
this
doing.
guy. Yep, we were fucking hurling out of that fucking club. Not good. But I just thought that was funny. I don't even know if they have orders online where you can order shirts or not, but I'd definitely like to make that a cutoff. It's a shrimp on one side of the shirt with eyes and everything, and it's looking at this chick, and she's got a COVID mask on. She's butt naked. Can't see anything, but I just think it looks cool. That'd be a cool fucking t-shirt to have. But-
Yeah.
I can't believe you've never went. You never had your fucking time where you and the boys just went out in strip clubs?
Nope.
Wow.
Never.
You're a better man than I am, Stevens.
Never have.
This one's for you, buddy.
But you know who's trying to go around a fucking strip joint? You know what I mean?
That was my first one.
Oh, jeez.
That's where we almost got hurt out. Yep. Yeah, we right as it opened.
Oh, the
Chicks were still
worst.
going in.
Worst of the worst.
Well, here's the thing. Like, that's why I liked it. I was single at the time. You know, there was 8 chicks working that night and the 2 of us. And of course, they're trying to make their money. So we had nonstop attention for 4 fucking hours till people finally showed up.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's just not for me anymore. I got out of the stupid games, play stupid games and win stupid prizes. And I won a lot of stupid prizes at strip clubs.
Yep.
But
Usually how it works.
it is what it is. You live and learn. I'm not upset about it. I do regret that because I probably could have saved that money and spent it towards something else other than, feeding hungry children or feeding somebody's coke habit.
Some
But
danky ass fucking run down fucking titties.
I mean,
Hadn't been my crowd, man, I guess.
can't blame you. It's not for a lot of people. And like I said, I'm glad that I'm out of that stage and I'm done with it. But I had my fun. Me and my buddies definitely had a lot of fun back in the college days going. I think it's better when you go with a group of people too, because if you go by yourself, you feel like a perv. But then I got to the point where nobody wanted to go with me, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go by myself."
I'm
And then
addicted to these titties.
that's when you learn. You're like, "Oh, this is kind of fucking weird." It finally does hit you. You get out of the fucking thinking with the wrong head, and you start thinking with your real one. You're like, "Man, this is awkward." Having small talk with somebody that's rubbing their fucking ass on my jeans.
So how's your day going? How's your night?
Yeah. You got any kids? Yeah, small talk doesn't work.
Well, what's your salary?
your
How much you make a year?
right?
I can imagine it being a big ass fucking money pit, man.
It is, and you realize that after the fucking umpteenth time going, you're like, man, I'm wasting a lot of money in this fucking
But when
place.
you got motherfuckers out here, a bunch of fucking weirdos, fucking buying fucking pictures of feet and
Yeah, there's money in
buying
it, I
fucking
guess.
bathwater and shit. I mean,
I'm gonna have to start an OnlyFans if I keep fucking buying cigars and alcohol for the podcast. Jesus Christ.
yeah, I'm probably have to chip in every once in a while.
Nah, I wouldn't. Please don't. Because then you'll know everything about. You know a lot about me, but you don't know everything. I've told you I've got a little wiener. You've never seen it. This is funny, and I'll drop this because she'll probably think it's funny. I told Kristen that I was going to start the podcast, right? And told her that I've been thinking about it for a while, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, if this falls through, she said, I just want you to know that I have your back. But she said, if this does fall through, I think you should start an OnlyFans. I'm like, abso-fucking-lutely not. She goes, think about it. You're a firefighter, biker. She said, you can't tell me that people wouldn't want to see that kind of person. I'm like, I just can't put myself out there like that, I don't think. That'd be fucking weird. But she's like, I would definitely take the pictures and edit them for you, and I would keep all of your files, somewhere where I could always see him. And I was like, I don't know.
What the fuck?
So thankfully the podcast is working out. If not, ugh, you'd probably see me getting my feet manicured a lot more. Or pedicured.
Sounds me. Kristen's trying to make money off your ass.
You damn right she is. Yeah, she charges me a commission.
She's like, I will be your manager.
She won't manage the podcast, but by God, she'll manage my OnlyFans.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for listening to the podcast, because if not,
speaking of, has anybody came out and said what they would like to hear, or what they want mentioned?
Believe it or not, my dad did. Did you listen to the last episode with me and my brother? I don't know if you did or not.
I have
okay.
not.
So my dad messaged me and he said, obviously we have SOPs at work, standard operating procedures of things that we have to do when shit hits the fan. So my dad wants us to talk about at work or at home, is there a difference for you? If you get put in a stressful situation, what process do you take to deal with that stressful situation? Because for me, there is no difference. When I get stressed at work or I get stressed at home, I handle it the exact same way.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay, so take me through my dad brought this up. He said, you and Tasha go to a party. Just you and her. There's no kids at this party. It's just you and her. You show up at this party not knowing who's going to be there, but you know who. Like if I invited you to a party,
right?
And at my party, there is somebody there that you cannot fucking stand. There's somebody there that, like, just not even talking to them, just being in their presence, fucking just makes your blood boil. That's the situation my dad put me in. But if any situation that makes you stressful, how do you handle that situation? What steps do you take to handle that? Because for other people, like my brother said in this last episode, it's different for him. He just goes with the flow, and if it does become a confrontation, then he'll absolutely handle that. But you and I are built different because of the training that we have.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm utilizing the training. If I was put in that particular situation, dude, it's hard to say, really, but I'm fight mode 100% of the damn time.
Well, that's what I told my brother in the last episode. I choose fight or flight. Fight, not necessarily meaning throwing hands, but fight, just me coming to you if the reverse.
It's kind of weird for me because I hate confrontational things, but I don't mind jumping into them
I'll be confrontational, but
you know, like I don't think I handle my stress. I don't think I sit there in a point of stress of saying, okay, A, B, C, breathe, look at this a little different.
Now, see, that's what I do at work, though.
Follow steps. I don't. Not at work. I come off the hook. I come back to my area. I reevaluate what's going on, and then I handle it there.
Well,
if I need to change it up a little bit, or
let me put you in the hot seat, though. You can't walk away from this situation. Like if we're at work, you see something or something's going on that's put you in a spot now. You can't. No, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm saying like you, because at work, if you walk away from a situation like that, it's going to get worse.
Oh yeah.
Before it gets better. If you're there, you can control it.
But it depends on what situation we're talking about.
Yeah, and I can't really go into a lot of detail, which blows. But I'll tell you what I told Dad. I said, first thing you have to do is acknowledge that. Okay, this is happening. Get that ball rolling. So this is what's going on. I can handle it this way, or this way. I need to weigh my options. Which way am I going to do this?
So yeah, not me.
But it happens for me so fast because of the training that we're.
Yeah,
I feel like, it doesn't take me long to pick a path.
I think I am definitely better off now with my decision making than I was necessarily a year and a couple months ago.
Right.
Before all the training, the eye-opening things. I mean, I think I will take the time to evaluate something a little bit more before I overreact or I in fact get stressed or I mean, honestly, dude, it depends on the situation of the day and the mood that I'm in. Because there's sometimes, whether at home or if I walk in on a shift, the day is not that day.
Right.
Okay, so something comes off, you mouth off. Something comes my way on that day. I'm gonna handle it in a way that it's gonna get handled. Rather, obviously, we don't always have to talk about physical altercation,
Right. That's
but
not
the
what I mean.
words that
That's
comes
what I
out of
was
your
trying to avoid.
mouth,
Yeah.
the things you decide to do to correct that situation. But it's different for me to come in on a different day. It's honestly, now I'm sitting here saying about it, it's mood based. I think
Yeah.
I said depends on what mood I'm in. You
And that
know,
makes sense to me too. And that's another thing that I wanted to bring up too. Because let's say outside of work, normal people would see that mood in you has changed and they're like, okay, we need to
Right.
not push him.
Yeah.
He's feeling some type of way.
Right.
Let's just give him his space. At work, it's 110% different.
Mm-hmm.
They see that you're in that mood
You feeling that
and
way?
they
Okay.
prey on that.
Like, okay. And then I take advantage of it too.
I do too. Yeah.
You know,
If you guys want me to be a dick, by all
you want it?
means,
Let's do it.
I'll be a dick for 8 hours. Let's do this.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm the same way at home, man. I tend to act before I think, and it gets me in trouble sometimes. But
I've always been the kind of person, and I'm not saying that what you do is bad, but I've always been the kind of person to weigh my options. Try to, and it's hard to do, to try to find a solution that works out best for everybody, or a solution that doesn't make you seem like the fucking asshole. Now, there are some times, like we talked about when we went to CIT, I'm trying to get from point A to point B right now.
Yeah.
And I'm in that mood sometimes.
Yeah.
But there are moods where I do get in where I'm like, you know what? Let me weigh these options real quick, find out what path I want to take, and then I can always reevaluate if that doesn't work out for me. I'd rather start down here,
right.
take path A, and if path A doesn't work, then I'll back up, jump up to path B, and we'll try that way. That's just how I've always been.
Typically, I'll walk myself down, not up.
Really?
So not good or bad. I start off really strong, and then I'll walk it down from there if the situation and if they allow me to walk it down.
Yeah.
But I mean, and some scenarios, when it comes to fight or flight, there's probably a lot of scenarios I bring on myself that didn't necessarily have to be quite that aggressive, but it's just who I am.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of how I came up and how I was raised somewhat. I'm not one to ever back down from anything, and I don't think policy or procedure or a person or anything I allow to get in my way of doing that.
Yeah.
CIT done a lot of recalibrating on my end. It showed me that there are beneficial factors of thinking, talking the situation down, getting to understand somebody's feelings, what they're feeling, what they're going through.
Which is crazy to think too, because that's the one thing that I've found out so far that you and I have differed from, is you handle situations different than I do, but at the same time, CIT taught you a lot, being that kind of person that likes to step down, start up top and step down.
Right.
And it even taught me a lot as being a person who likes to start at the bottom and work up.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to think that even though we have two different aspects of thinking like that, the training and stuff that we go through, or even some of the things that we see in our daily lives, whether that be at work or at home, still teaches us a lot in being different. You may have grabbed a little something different than CIT than what I did.
Right.
But still, I think it was very beneficial. You want to know who grinds my gears? This train needs to go a different direction, because if it goes the same way it's going, I'm going to get fired.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
That's true.
So this fucking storm's rolling in, my dude.
I saw that, but I don't think it's, as long as it doesn't blow in on your porch, I don't think we're going to have any issues.
Yeah. I'm just shifting subjects at this point.
Oh, yeah, thanks. I'll tell you what, though, I love sitting outside and listening to it rain, and I haven't done that in a long time.
Yep, it's nice.
It's very relaxing. I used to do it out at my grandma's. I'd take a cot out, sleep out on the porch, just listen to it rain.
That's the thing about coming out here there, Caldwell. I don't know if it's a heat belt or what the fuck we are on, man. But it never fails that a nice storm, you see it coming in on radar, you're looking forward to it. I'm the same way, man. I love a storm coming in, sitting on the porch, peaceful, the smell, the cool air.
Oh,
it's nice. But you don't, for some reason in this area, it like splits and goes. Like,
It's hard to tell what
get
it's gonna do.
you get a little bit of it. It's coming in nice and heavy. It's strong. It's coming. You're sitting there watching it coming for the last couple hours, and all of a sudden, it's like a little fucking pussy fart. It fucking dumps on you for a minute, a lightning bolt, and it's gone. It's like, what the fuck?
Mid spring seems like, at least to me, anyways. Mid spring seems like you get a nice, steady, constant rain for an hour or so.
Yeah.
Any other time, it's like summer. I was gonna ride the bike today, but I looked at the radar this morning and it said like a 20 to 30% chance all day. I just wasn't feeling like getting wet on the bike.
Yeah.
Call me a pussy if you want. I could have grabbed my leathers, but I was like, I'm just not feeling.
You know
that,
what
so
I'm
I didn't
talking
ride
about,
today.
though?
Yeah,
Like-
it does. You have no idea.
Like, kind of like what it does a lot around Columbus.
The rain is coming in huge one big belt, and
Yep,
then all of a
and
sudden
it's
it divides
boom.
around you
Yeah,
and
and
goes
comes
right
back
past
together.
you.
And a lot of people I've heard say it's because all the heat and shit that's put off by the city
I have
that
no idea.
causes a disturbance and for it to fucking change paths or whatnot. But that's kind of what I noticed that it does here. Like it's full on. It's coming. You're getting the notifications and everything that it's game on.
But I've had those before where intermittent rain is coming, and we're probably going to get this where we can see lightning off in
Yep.
the distance. But
never get the punch of it.
it cooled down just a little bit, I think, but I don't think it hasn't gotten.
I kind of felt like it was going to happen because in the last several days it's been relatively mild.
Yeah.
Today it was noticeably hotter than what it's
the
been.
humidity.
And then
Did you notice? I don't know if you saw this on your phone or not. The temperatures are getting ready to drop.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Like tomorrow, the temperatures are supposed to be a lot lower.
Yeah.
So that's why I told my wife earlier. I'm like,
looking forward to that. Like Fat Guy Fall needs to hurry the fuck up because
me
this
and
87 degrees was the high today, and
Oh,
it's fucking hot.
100%. Dude.
Friday is going to turn around, and the high is going to be 64.
I sweating balls down at the ball field, man. I wasn't even one playing ball. I was just sitting there watching. And I'm like,
Right.
I'm sweating like a little bitch.
Yeah, I'm ready for hoodie weather again for sure. Anyway, we were just looking through some of the shit that happened on shift while we were off today, and had some exciting stuff happen that we missed out on. I missed out on. But that's another hard thing I've found to do too. I look at those recaps all the time just to see what happens when I'm not there. I have an extremely hard time with
separating.
Yep. It's extremely difficult.
Wasn't being disrespectful, but that's
I'm
kinda,
sorry.
That's no. I said I wasn't trying to be
Oh
disrespectful.
no, I want you to tell me how you feel.
Like I'm not like that, dude. When it's my 2 days off, I don't. The only time I will pull up damn work emails to see about the bid cycle, see who's getting bids, of who's switching days, shit like that. But as far as shift recap, what happened, I don't get two fucks about that when I'm off.
And I shouldn't, because a lot of the old timers will tell you, put in your 8 and fucking go. Don't worry about what fucking happens here.
Yeah, I don't.
And I shouldn't. But really, I don't give two fucks.
No, I should be honest and say that I have always pretty much been that way. But into recent years that because it's affected myself and my family, my wife,
Really?
because when I get into a job, I'm 100% about that job, and that's day, night there, or home, days off, I used to always be that way, but in the last couple years, I've kind of shifted my way about it, and when I'm not there, I'm not there, and I can't say how great that fucking feels, but it's something that you like to. That's just you and your personality, anyways. You like to keep up on stuff. You like to know what's going on.
Yeah, not so much that I'm nosy, but it's just work shit. I mean, like you said, it's probably something I should probably work on. Is work about leaving work at work and keep it. But like we were talking about, I just need to. It's not a bad thing,
No,
and I think you realize too, it's not a bad thing that I check. But like you said, I also see where you're coming from too, because that's where it starts.
Yeah.
When you start getting that invested in your work on your days off, then yeah, it is going to work its way into your family life.
Yeah, it did too. Before I just don't. I try not to allow it to happen, and I really stick to it, man. There's a lot of times that my wife can obviously see something's wrong with me, but she's like, "What's wrong? What happened? Nothing."
Yeah.
No, I'm all good. And most of the time, I will decide to mention some of the stuff that we dealt with on a different day. When
Yeah.
I'm out of the mood, you know, I'm not feeling stressed about it or like I'm burdening her with my stress. I'll bring it up, but more as a casual talk, you know.
Right. To get us off that subject, I was actually talking with my brother over the last podcast. Camden started doing Boy Scout meeting at his work. So we started a fucking trend, I guess. Him and his dude
That's
stay.
not a trend, dude. That's a copycat.
Well, I don't think people ever fucking put a word to it, though.
Tell him to quit fucking copying you. Tell
Well,
him to be cool on his own self.
do his own shit. Him and his dude stay after work for like a half hour, 45 minutes out in the parking lot. Bullshit.
It is what it is, man. And you can't say that it's not nice. I'm not saying you personally, but it's nice. It's nice to just fucking have somebody you can bullshit with,
Yeah.
you know. And it doesn't have to be about anything, really. Just somebody you know you can fucking bullshit with.
Yeah.
It kills the fucking stress and the edge and the fact that you know somebody else that's dealing with the same stuff that you're dealing with.
And even if nothing happened on shift when you and I would have Boy Scout meetings,
Mhm.
if it did, we could decompress about that. But if it didn't, using that time to flip the switch
Yeah.
is amazing
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
To start talking about something random
Mhm.
and get your mind off of work, it's your fault. You're the reason why I fucking
Yeah,
have
dude.
drawn so much back into work because I don't have Boy Scouts meetings anymore. No, I'm not gonna pin that on you. But like you said, I think it's very beneficial. And I think if anybody out there, no matter what profession you work with, if you have good employees that you get along with, sit down and have a conversation with them, whether it be about work or about family bullshit or whatever. That's the best time to do it,
Mhm.
you know, because like Kristen works in an office setting where she can talk to any one of her employees at any time of the day, and it's just them in the office. They can do that whenever.
Right.
But for us, you know, it's me and my partner, you and your partner. We're separated all day.
Yep.
Then we come out and we get to hang out with our dudes and catch up. You know, it's extremely beneficial. If you haven't tried it yet, I think you should. Don't get in a fight with your spouse over it, but you know,
Yeah. Like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm staying whether you like her or not.
which I never had to tell Kristen that because, like I said, luckily she understands. But if it ever boiled down to it, I'd be like, hey, I'm just decompressing.
And I act like that's something I would tell her. I say that shit to her, boy. That'd be some deep shit.
I know, but I would come over and dig you out of that hole.
I can talk shit all I want.
Come over and be like, hey,
Shit, here.
sorry, Chris was late. You know, I had to talk with him about some shit. I got some shit going on. Oh, fuck, man. Thunder's beautiful out.
I think they understand it, though. They really do.
That's what I love about my old lady and, like I said, your old lady, too. They both get it.
It's getting nice out, man.
It is
The
cooling
breeze
down a little
coming
bit.
in.
Breeze is rolling in.
Thunder's rolling.
I love it, man. I really do.
So outside of your dad, nobody's really said
No, nobody else has reached out that I know of.
the fuck.
I think people are afraid to. I don't know why, but
You have something to talk about.
because believe me, Stevens and I can, I'm sure, come up with our own shit. But it's a lot easier when somebody else has a question that we can ask. Because when my dad asked that question, you could tell there was no dead time in the episode. Now there's dead time because I'm dragging here. I got nothing. Ludwig finally answered a message from me from fucking July.
Yeah, that's what he does, man.
Late July. He took him a month to fucking
That's what he does.
shoot me a message back.
Pisses you off. Like, well, why you even fucking text me back, dude?
Right.
Why do that? But he says he does that shit to his wife too. Like,
Really?
yeah.
Wonder how he's doing.
That's why I hear he's doing all right. He's making more money than we are.
Good for him.
So I mean,
Can't be mad at somebody better than themselves.
better in themselves, better in fucking hours, better in time off. You know.
Here's another thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's what makes you fucking like double guess what you do. You know, are we willing to sit around all this time, wait for our seniority to come? When will it come? I don't know.
Right.
But we were really waiting for that to be the case. I mean, I think it's more impactful for me than it is you. And I'm not saying that in a mean way, but like, I think I think time off, certain time off, and certain shifts it plays a big role
It absolutely does.
into my situation, and it's a fighting battle every day. Hell, I'm working third shift, not by choice. You know, I'd much not rather work or third shift.
Right.
I'd much rather work second shift. Hell, I'd rather be on first shift.
Yeah.
Really, but
with shitty days off, I'd rather be on first shift.
yeah, 100%. You're out there at 2:00. You got the rest of the day. And it's not impeding on the rest of your schedules. It's just, oftentimes, and then like his situation, he's off doing gooder and better hours. You
Me?
know,
Oh, Ludwig. Okay, I was
yeah,
gonna say I really don't have that much better hours than you do, but
and making more money.
right.
It's like, what the fuck? That's what I'm sitting here like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing? Damn it! What is it about this fucking place? I cannot leave.
Got you by the balls.
Hell yeah, man.
That's gonna have to get cut out.
uh, you know.
It's just, it's super weird. I mean, God, this episode just keeps coming back on this train track. It's so hard not to fucking go with
It's saying Mother Nature right now saying talk shit.
Let's jump out here a little bit. Last time I talked to you, mentioned about the motorcycle club. You had struck up the idea. Now, granted, I don't think it's fucking in the working right now, but you had mentioned how nice it would be to get a bike again and ride again. And you asked me kind of what the club was like, and I was filling you in on some of the stuff that we do as a club. And that's what I liked about the club. They're a lot less secret than what my job is. But it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy the club. The Warthogs have been a huge support to me, and I know a lot of them listen to the podcast on a regular basis, and just good group of guys. And I was telling Stevens that, a lot of people see bikers and cuts, and they immediately think, oh, it's a gang, or oh, what are they doing? Like they're afraid of these kind of people, but it's not that way at all. They're people that you can depend on and rely upon, and I think you would really like it. If you ever do get a motorcycle, you need to tell me first, then tell your wife, and I'll figure out a way to try to help you. Like, hey, Stevens and I were talking, and he bought this bike, but he should definitely join the club.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think some maybe like her would be on the impression. Hell, even me. I've kind of gotten stuck in a bad impression. It's just because,
It's that stigma that motorcycle clubs carry around with them.
yeah, they carry trouble with them.
And it's not every club, but the clubs out there that do carry bad stigma puts a bad name out for everybody.
Yeah, but I think it's a great thing that you have clubs, as in yours, that is out to help make a difference, and when you can bring that bad stigmatism and start to open up a lot of people's eyes about there's good.
There's a club out there called Bikers Against Child Abuse, and their whole mission is raising money for kids who have fell victim to child neglect and abuse.
Yeah.
And not only that, but these bikers, instead of having big events, I'm sure they still do have big events, but their goal is to have their guys show up in their cuts at the courthouse.
I've seen something about that. Yeah.
With these kids that they've grown accustomed to and build a rapport with.
Yeah.
And be in the courtroom with them to feel like they're protected.
Right.
There's clubs out there. You just have to find the right one that fits you. It's not like one shoe fits all. I did a lot of research before I started looking for motorcycle clubs and trying to find out what I wanted to join. And I even applied to a different club before I found out about the one that I'm in now. And I just found out that the benefits not really the benefits for me, yes. I mean, I don't get any money from the club, but what the club does fits my personality.
Mm-hmm.
Any money that we get, we donate back, and they're always willing to help out the community, people in need, and that's the kind of club that I wanted to be a part of. We're not self-centered around the Warthogs. We have a very tight-knit group, though. It's us.
Yeah.
If it's us against the world, so be it. But at the end of the day, we're here to fight a cause. We have a goal and a mission in mind.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. And that's what makes people want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And that's hearing you talk about it. That's what's made me come around and be like,
And if you guys are willing to, if you guys are thinking about joining a motorcycle club, if you have a bike and you're out there and you're listening to this, do your research on these clubs, because the Warthogs do take in people that are not public service. But we do take in what we call them 10 percenters. 10% of the club can be somebody who is not public service. So even though you might be looking at a club that just mostly takes these kinds of people or certain types of people or a certain job profession, maybe they have something in their bylaws that say that they'll take people who aren't necessarily in there. But like I said, with you working with me, there wouldn't be any problem if you wanted to join. And I would absolutely love to hit you up one day on our days off. I would coordinate my days off with you just for that sole purpose. Just to be like, hey, I'm going out to fucking wherever. Grab lunch. Let's go.
Yep.
But
yes, sir.
It's that family that you create. We've talked about it before on the podcast. It's, the people that you hang out with the most become a family figure to you. I've got brothers and sisters, and there's 2 people on my motorcycle club in my chapter that I just consider my Warthog mom and dad, just because I know they would do anything for me in a heartbeat. They're great people. They're nice. The guy's old lady treats me like her son.
To me, that's the added bonus. Okay, so
yeah,
when I say that, that's the added bonus. For me, what sells me is the good deeds that's being done.
Right.
So the donation, and the bike runs, and for the reasons and causes that you're doing, that's what intrigues me. That's what wants me to come on board with it, to be a part. The family atmosphere that's created within that group is the added bonus.
Right.
You're making friends, you're making family, you're making people you can count on, people you can ride with, even on outside occasions, but it's the difference that you're making in a community. That's what is drawing my attention into it, really. Besides you and your fucking bald head and your smile, that just means more time that I get with you.
Quit riding my dick, because my girlfriend is gonna be pissed. You already spent enough time with Stevens. Now you're on the fucking motorcycle club with him, and you guys see each other all the time, and we don't get to see each other.
I know exactly what song I would play when I roll up. Guess who's back?
Oh, I don't think she would be pissed, but boy, she would.
She'd be jealous.
I'll tell you what, though. You and I were sitting here talking about you getting a new truck because your wife just got a new car.
Yep.
I'm telling you this: if you pitch the idea to her and be like, "Hey, babe, this is what we spent on your car, and here's what I'm looking about spending on a truck, but the finances are saying that a motorcycle's a hell of a lot cheaper than what that new truck would be."
Hell yeah.
I'm telling you,
100%, dude. I'm telling you right now, I will not have to, out of anything in this world, I will not have to fight with her about getting a motorcycle. That is one thing that she will jump right on board with. She loves riding just like I like riding.
Yeah.
The only thing with me and her, is kind of drawn to negativity, is the comfortableness of it. Going on long runs and
yeah, but you had a street bike before. You didn't have a cruiser.
Yeah, because
you get a fucking Indian like you're talking, you guys are gonna be set. You ain't gotta fucking worry about that shit.
Yeah.
If Kristen and I can take that trip to PA on a bike that's semi-comfortable, you and your old lady can take a trip on an Indian and be perfectly fine.
It just had me or us kind of guys, it takes you a minute to wrap your head around a freaking cruiser.
It's called being a pussy.
Pussy,
really? Yes.
Ass.
Yes. You and your fucking street bikes.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. I want to ride and comfort.
That do about fucking 130 mile an hour more than your cruisers.
I don't give a flying fuck. I don't need top end speed. I want comfort. I'm not in it to fucking get there 3 hours before I planned on. I'm just in there for fucking comfort. Because you can't tell me you rode anywhere comfortably on that fucking street bike for longer than a couple hours.
No, you don't. You get off, your back stiff, your hands and elbows are stiff. Shit's stiff, but in the time being, it was fun. That's the thing with street bikes, man. It brings four-wheelers and dirt bikes to a machine that you can still have fun on.
Street legal, yeah.
You know, it just, and when I say that, I mean like dipping and diving in the corners at 100 mile an hour like it's no big deal, and fucking setting on one wheel going down the road, and it's just all the shit you can't necessarily do on a cruiser. Cruiser guys will fucking argue me 100%. Oh yeah, I can go around a corner at 100 mile an hour too.
I just prefer not to. I prefer to not have a brown streak in my underwear once I get to the other side of that corner, because I'm like, man, I almost dropped that motherfucker.
Yeah, like, yeah, you absolutely can, but the displacement of weight, and not to mention your fucking pegs and your fucking footrest and your highway bars are probably going to snag, and you're going down.
I had to explain to Krista one time I took a corner too fast and something on the bottom of my bike drug. And of course, you hear that real loud grinding. And she's like, what was that? And I was like, nah, it's just normal for a cruiser. It just happens. Eventually, something's going to fall off, and I'm going to have to replace it.
Hey, that piece of aluminum, it needed grinded a little bit. It needed to bring the shine back out.
Oh, shit.
Free detailing.
That's the truth.
Caused by cornering on cruisers.
Need a new paint job anyways.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. The first time I jumped on somebody's fucking cruiser, I'm telling you, I come from.
I bet you loved mine when I let you take mine down the fucking road.
Oh yeah, that thing's beautiful. But I'm talking way back. Jump on a cruiser. Here I am. I'm used to, dirt bikes. Stick your fucking leg out there, throw that ass in around on a fucking dime, and you're gone back the other way. You kick the side when you kick your four-wheeler sideways. Crotch rocket, you lay that thing in a corner, and it lays it however far you want to lay it down, you're coming back out of it. So I jump on a cruiser, hit a fucking corner, start going around this fucking corner, and the fucking heart attack set in, because you start to go around this corner, and all of a sudden you get the fucking foot peg drag, and you initially midway in a corner you hear the fucking grind, and then you're like, what the fuck, and you lean back with it, and then you're setting yourself in the middle of the fucking road coming around this corner. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that fucked me up when I was first on a cruiser, and then after that, worrying about what somebody was gonna fucking think once I brung it back, like kind of scuffed your footboard a little bit going around a corner. You fucking crotch rocket guys, you all fucking think you need to lay a bike down fucking 80 degrees to get around a motherfucking corner.
I've never been on a street bike, so I couldn't tell you anything about them.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, it's scary, but once you get that,
just not that. Camden and I talked about it in the last episode. He's at that age where he likes to go fast and things and do risky shit. I said I just never had that. I never was that kind of person.
I love it, dude. Fastest I've ever been on a bike is 201 miles per hour.
Fuck that, man.
Going down Interstate 70. And I tell you
that's
what,
a little fucking fast.
The adrenaline ride is fucking crazy, because once you bump up past 150 mile an hour, that adrenaline starts kicking in. But you peak. You've already set your mind to, I'm hitting 2, period. And nothing's going to stop you from doing it. And throttle's cranked down, you're gone, you're laid down. But when you get up to 200 mile an hour, man, and your life flashes between your eyes, because you're up there and you're not moving, because you know as well as I do, you move an inch one way or the other, that bike is following you, especially at that kind of speed. But not only that, a rock, a raccoon, anything, a stick, at that point, you hit it at that kind of speed and send you in a fucking death wobble. You're not getting control of that. 200 mile an hour, you're done. That bike's going down, and you're probably fucking flipping 350 times before you splat going down the interstate. So the adrenaline that you're at when you get to that point is amazing. But when you're sitting there and you're looking at your peripheral and you see both lines are nothing but blur at that point. And then you start thinking, like, if I hit something comes my way, or if I come approaching on, 2 cars in both lanes, what am I going to do? I mean, everything starts going through your head at that point. Then it's you
Back her
quickly
down.
you back her down real quick. But it's fun. It's fun, man. But I think getting to the age I'm at now, everything that I got to, my kids and my wife and everything, you put that shit to a side. Fun's fun. You can do that shit on a 4-wheeler in the fucking middle of a fucking mud field to get your adrenaline and your mud out, or even a dirt bike. You know, worst gonna happen out there is a broken bone or something. But I think it's time. Just get the damn cruiser. We both like to ride. She enjoys it. I enjoy it, and just fucking kick it.
Yeah.
I still don't know how I'd feel. She's mentioned before about like her uncle has done it too, right all the way from fucking Tennessee to Ohio and back from Ohio to Tennessee. That's how he
I'm not gonna
traveled
tell
for a
you I
while.
didn't sit and think about fucking going down to Tennessee when I fucking had this big vacation going on. I don't know what I want to do.
I just don't get it. That the part that I don't get is because you get some guys that are like, oh, that's no big deal. Fuck, that ain't nothing. What, 8 hours on a fucking bike? That ain't shit. Then you get other guys that's like,
Me?
fuck
That's a
that.
hot ride.
No, but it's like, what level are those guys at? What level are those guys at? Are like, fucking, you need to do like fucking 24 hours on a bike, before you even start to fucking complain. It's like, what
Yeah.
the fuck are you talking
Sorry
about?
you got a hard ass, but
Yeah, like your ass is numb. Like,
But Chris and I were talking about that episode. It's in a vehicle you can stretch, you can move, you can kind of do
shift your weight one way or
Yeah.
the other.
And like you said, you do that on a motorcycle, and an inch you move one way, that bike is gonna follow you.
Yeah,
And I told Kristen, especially on that ride, I said, if you need to move an inch, if you need to readjust, you can. But I said, you need to let me know first.
yeah.
Because all of a sudden I'm riding and the fucking bike's, it's just moving. And I'm
Like,
like,
whoa,
what
what
the
the fuck?
Yeah, you're not expecting it. But it is a lot of fun. I wish I could get everybody to experience what it's like being on a bike. Because Dad and I have talked about it, Chris and I have talked about it, and if you've never rode, you just don't understand.
Yeah, it's nice, and I want to get back to it because that was my stress reliever back then. I'd be feeling hot and heavy and just fucking go jump on a bike and take a ride, go somewhere, and just that time on a fucking bike.
And the destination's not important. Just
No.
fucking, I would get on the bike and just go somewhere and think, okay, yeah, it's time to head back, and then I'll turn around and come back. I don't know where the fuck I'm going. So we took a little break. Steven's got a refresh on his nicotine, and we were talking about some shit. And I wish I would have aired it on the podcast, but then again, I was like, well, it's kind of personal stuff that him and I, as dudes, can laugh about. I'll drop a little bit of it. He was laughing about his wife. I'm laughing about Kristen and some of the shit that we've gone through, but I just didn't. It's probably not podcast worthy. But there he comes. He's coming.
That thing
back
has
over
a
to
fucked up eye. It's kind of sketchy though.
You ain't
Back
shit.
over there.
Yeah, it does have a fucked up eye. You're right.
Mm-hmm. It's probably dudes across the street.
It could be. He said, that cat said, fuck you. Probably knows it's getting ready to rain. Is trying to get fucking shelter. Yeah, I don't do cats at all. Not a fan of cats. I'm actually allergic to cats.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
My mom is too.
Get the fucking petting one of the cats, my eyes start itching. You ever heard anybody allergic to strawberries?
Strawberries? No.
I was allergic to strawberries as a kid.
Strawberries?
Mm-hmm. Used to break out in hives.
Like what?
I'm assuming I grew out of it, but I just never.
What about strawberries?
I don't know. Something in them. I just.
That's crazy.
I'm not as weird as a fucking peanut allergy. Those guys are fucking off the chain. Fuck those guys.
That would suck.
You ain't shit.
If you had a peanut allergy, that would severely suck.
There's a guy I knew told me if he was sitting at a baseball game and the dude beside him was eating peanuts, just the dust would cause him to fucking swell up like a fucking beach ball. I'm like, that's fucked up, man.
That's weird.
I like peanut butter.
Sorry for you, dude.
Yeah.
I do too, dude. I love peanut. I'll sit there with crackers or just a spoon and eat fucking peanut butter right out of the jar.
Hell yeah. But yeah, I think it's something I grew out of. I mean, I can eat like, oh, this fucking cat's rubbing up against my leg. But I can eat like strawberry jam and shit like that as long as it's not pure strawberries, which, like I said, I think I grew out of it, but I've never tested it. I just knew my mom told me as a kid I was allergic to strawberries. Speaking of my mom telling me shit as a kid, back when my grandpa and I worked on the trash truck, this is a story I didn't tell last episode. Cam and I were sharing shit that we had did on the trash route together, just being stupid and dumb shit. My grandpa and I used to work together on the trash route before he passed away. And we were up picking up trash in this residential place, and my grandpa's like, hey, I don't know if you know this or not, but you guys used to live in that house right there. I was like, bullshit, motherfucker. He's like, no, I'm serious. You guys used to live there. And I'm like, my grandpa's fucking old and senile. He don't know shit. I would have known. My parents, I thought, would have told me, hey, you grew up here. No. So I thought I was being smart and cocky as a fucking 18, 19-year-old kid. Told my grandpa, I said, I'll bet you lunch on it. Because I know for a fact I did not grow up there. My grandpa's like, hey, motherfucker, you're buying me lunch. Call your mom. So I call my mom, and I'm like, hey, did I live in a house over on whatever street? She's like, yeah, we stayed there for a little bit. I'm like, are you fucking serious? You never once thought that was important to tell me? Well, we only lived there for like less than a year because rent was super expensive, and your grandpa was having to help us pay rent sometimes. And I'm like, well, no fucking shit. That's how he knew I was there, you know? Damn. But yeah, I guess my first birthday was spent in that house, I guess. I never fucking knew about it. And I'm like, thanks, Mom. Now I owed Jim lunch. Damn it. He laughed about that for years. He thought that was funny as shit. I can't wait till I have kids and I can pull some shit on them. I'm sure you pull some shit on your kids.
No, every day.
Houses. Oh man.
Every day. Every time I can get my whack out of them, I do. Little shitheads. They're going to end up eventually all gaining up on me one day when they feel like they're old enough.
I was going to say right now, I still don't think they could, even the four of them. But the day that you think they're going to, you call me and we'll fucking put them in their place. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to beat your kids. No, by no means am I saying on this podcast that I'm going to beat your kids.
They're not kids at that point. They'd be damn
I'm just showing up to prove a point.
Be like, you want to take an ass whooping? You man enough to take an ass whooping? Let's do it.
I joke with my dad now because of the even he does, because he knows what kind of health he's in. He used to tell me all the time, he's like, if you're ever ready to go, you're ready to buck, you tell me when and we'll fucking do this.
I tell my boys, go whenever you think you're ready. Find that day.
Yeah, you think I'm lazy, I'm just resting.
every boy finds a time in their life when they think, today's the day I'm going to challenge my dad. My suggestion is you better bring over boxing gloves and ask me to put them on. Why would we bring boxing gloves? Well, because the feeling of that boxing glove hitting your fucking forehead don't feel a lot better than my knuckles hitting your fucking forehead.
Have they yet to cuss towards you? Not in front of you, but okay.
Not yet. I'm waiting on that day, but
because the oldest one's getting there.
I
bet you he's fucking right on the.
He's found his. I think he finds his tongue every once in a while. I think sometimes it's right at last second.
Yeah.
When he fucking detours, but one day
you need to call me that day when your son comes up to you and goes, "Look, motherfucker," because I want to know what happens afterwards.
You really want to know? There's no.
I want to help you get an alibi straight. I mean, that's what kind of guy I am.
Like the fuck you just say, boy. Yeah, that is going to probably be an immediate reaction, smack to the fucking head. Like but it's not for the fact of, you cussing. It's inevitable.
Right, yeah. I want my kids to grow up to know that cussing is not as bad as people say it is.
You're going to cuss. Yeah. It is what it is. But what you are going to fucking be taught real fucking quick is if you think you can disrespect me.
Yeah, exactly.
In my house, with that fucking tone and that manner, you got another thing coming. I'm gonna set them straight real quick. You may, they really think my age, like I'm old. We're sitting here watching football the other night, and some commercial came on about the old school football and leather helmets and shit. And serious as a heart attack, my two oldest boys looked at me and asked me if that was the helmets I wore when I was in school. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You all really think I'm that fucking old? I'm not that fucking old. I really ain't. And they're like, yeah, you are, Dad. I said, well, you guys you know what? If you want to keep that in mind, keep it in mind. No, dad's old. Dad's old. He ain't gonna do shit. And they test the boundaries all the time. I think they're picking their time. And I
Right.
think they're just waiting because like foot races out here. You're old, Dad. You're big. You're old, and you can't outrun me. So the fuck I can't. Yes, I can. I said just because I have this fucking belly and I got a little age to me doesn't mean I can't outrun you. And they tried to call me on my bluff and lined all three of them boys up on the line. We ran the entire distance of that field, and I smoked them. And I says, that's when I told them, pick your day. Say any day. I said, you think you're youth, you're younger than me right now. You think you can challenge me any day. I don't care if you're fucking 18, 20, 25, any day. I'm telling you, this old man's gonna fucking put a whooping on your fucking ass. I promise you. But the thing of it is too, the thing that I thought about too, like I grew up a hell lot different than they have. These boys haven't been in a fight, man. They don't know what a punch feels like. They don't know any of this right now.
Right.
So I don't know. Like I grew up that that's how you solved your fucking problems. Hell, even with your dad. I've received some harsh fucking ass whoopings, and I'm not talking about hand to an ass. I learned real early on what a punch felt like. Ever since then, I ain't ever been afraid of one.
Right.
Why would I? Hell, one of the biggest guys I know is my dad. My dad's 6'7", 300 fucking pounds, and he's a fucking fighter. And there was a time, dude, jacked me right in my fucking jaw. That's when I realized I didn't have a glass jaw. That's what my dad said, that you didn't. Well, boy, I guess you don't have a glass jaw. I was like, no, I do not. But the what makes a person scary is when they go through all these life experiences. They know what a punch feels like. They ain't scared of a fucking punch, you know.
Damn, that
And
was
there's
good.
cracking. So I know what it is, and there is nobody I'm intimidated by. I will walk up to anybody. Like, man, I've had my ass whipped by my fucking dad. But I say that because I've thought about, I want my boys to be tough. Now I've thought about personally, like getting boxing gloves, roughing them up a little bit. Getting them to actually feel what it feels like getting your head rung a little bit, so they're better prepared for
Right.
when the fucking time comes.
And I'll be 100% honest. I'm nowhere near in that situation because when my dad grew up, like I said, he was in the profession we were. And my dad was always like, hey, if you ever want to test me, you're more than welcome. I am ready when you are. But I never challenged him because I just didn't. I mean, I got my fair share of ass whoopings, but I didn't
Yeah.
get jacked. But my mom cold cocked me one time. And as the last time I fucking back talked my mom because she busted my nose. But, yeah, I just never tested dad. And I'm not gonna say I've never had my ass beat, but I'm the kind of person that like if it comes down to it, I'll solve shit with my hands by
Yeah.
all means.
Yeah.
Don't think I'm gonna back away from one. But if there's a way around it, I'm not gonna fucking. I'm just that kind of person though.
Yeah.
I've always been that kind of guy.
Yeah. I mean, you have either side. You got guys that's willing to fucking throw down right now, or you got guys that are not willing to throw down but can.
Right.
And those kind of guys are especially dangerous too. Because you get a misread. You get a misread on the guy that he's trying to walk out of that situation. His first choice is not to throw hands. And then the person that's always wanting to throw hands, they misread it. Like, well, this motherfucker's a bitch. Then you try to punk them out, and then some guys end up getting their fucking ass handed to them in those scenarios. I've watched it happen. It's just ready to throw hands anytime. It's kind of a fun thing. Been asked before, why don't you just fucking box? Why don't you just get into martial arts or,
I think
you
I'd help my
know,
cardio out a lot, believe it or not. I mean, I know I need to work on getting my cardio up and shit like that and getting healthier. But I've thought about it, but I just never put two and two together as to what I want to do cardio wise. But especially some kind of training. I've never been in any kind of training or any like self defense. I mean, I've been through self defense bullshit, but nothing.
I like to do fucking jujitsu.
That's how I mean, when me and my brother wrestle, we don't like box and throw punches. We wrestle like high school boys, or UFC shit, like submissions and fucking moves and techniques and chokeholds. That's the kind of person I am.
Yeah.
I'm a scrapper, I guess. I don't like to stand toe to toe with somebody because I know my strengths and weaknesses. At the end of the day, you know, if I'm throwing haymakers I think anybody, if you throw haymakers long enough, you're gonna get fucking winded and whoop ass, or be fucking whooped. But that's just the kind of guy I am. I'm gonna take shit to the ground because I know I'm fat, know I'm big, and we'll see where that goes. If your arm gets broke, sorry about your luck. But
yeah,
that's how my brother and I do when we fight. He throws body shots because he's younger than me and I'm bigger than him, and it gives him an edge. I don't throw shots. I just fucking move around him and grab a heel hook or a fucking arm bar or get around his fucking neck and watch him turn purple for a little while.
These young boys, man. But we were there too.
Yeah. It's crazy to think how long it's been, man.
I just
I'm
can't
only
believe
25, but fuck.
I can't believe they're trying to put me in the air of fucking leather helmets. It's like
you still hung up on
what
that,
the
Dad?
Fuck?
Jesus.
Seriously?
Holy shit.
Really think I'm that old? I'm not that damn old. Leather fucking helmets. Was that the football helmets you wore, Dad?
Fuck you.
Like, what the fuck?
Keep thinking that, 'cause one of these days I'm gonna fucking knock your lights out.
I know what the fuck you're getting for Christmas, you little motherfucker. Nothing.
But we'll go ahead and get this wrapped up. The rain's starting to roll in. Stevens and I are probably just going to kick it on the porch and talk about some more shit we can't put on the podcast. But thank you guys again for listening. We had a hell of a time. I know I had a great one. I'm working on my third beer now and killed that cigar. It's always a good time hanging out with you. Like I said, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I've never had a bad time hanging out with you. And I appreciate you 100%.
Same here, Bubba. On or off.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter at all.
Good company is good company.
But once again, fellas, ladies, if you could follow me on the Apple Podcast app. Stevens was asking me earlier. I'm going to try to create a video and show you guys how to turn your notifications on for all the episodes. Did you ever get that figured out?
Nope.
I forgot to set it up for you last time we were together. I'll set that up for you. But whether you listen to Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, whatever, there is a way to turn notifications on. I'm still posting every Wednesday. I'm still going to try to make that work. If I have to change the schedule, you guys will be the first to know. But thanks again, guys. Look me up. I'm on Facebook. Don't be afraid to ask questions there on that Facebook page again. We're really looking for some more topics, some more people to talk to. So if you're out there and you want to know something, or if you want to try to jump on an episode, don't hesitate to ask, because we're definitely looking for people to hang out with and kick it with. But reach out to me, get a hold of me any way you guys can. Keep supporting the podcast. We really appreciate you guys. But until next time, guys,
stay wobbled.
Stay wobbled. You didn't fuck it up that time.
Nope.
That's awesome. Stay wobbled, guys. Thanks.